Dear child, the angels have a message for you today. The angels wish to reach out to you today, offering comfort and guidance in understanding the complexities of certain relationships. They know that when someone we care about suddenly distances themselves or stops communicating, it's only natural to wonder if we might have caused it or done something wrong. Yet the angels want you to know that before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends and family. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below as we build a community focused on God's truth and protection. Your support helps us spread this important message to more people. And together we can learn and grow. This shift in closeness is not your fault. Often people need a little time to process their own feelings or sort out what's happening within them. This is a normal part of being human. Even if someone appears distant, it doesn't mean they don't care. They're just working through their own emotions in a way that's true to them. When we extend kindness and love without expecting anything in return, we're planting seeds of connection. Although these seeds may not bloom immediately, they grow over time, sometimes in subtle, unexpected ways. The angels encourage you to stay true to who you are, to continue being that warm and loving presence in the world. Your actions are meaningful, and everything done with genuine love will eventually find its way back to you, often when you least expect it. There are times when we encounter people who challenge our usual ways of thinking and make us reflect deeply on our own emotions. These connections can feel different from others, like a puzzle with some pieces that don't quite fit. When someone's actions seem unpredictable or difficult to read, it can create a sense of mystery, prompting us to question the nature of the connection. We might wonder if we're misunderstanding them, or if perhaps they're misunderstanding us. This lack of clarity can feel uncomfortable, especially if we're someone who values clear communication and understanding. Yet the angels remind us that within this uncertainty, we often discover new parts of ourselves, qualities, strengths, or sensitivities that may have been hidden from view. Sometimes the person we're connecting with has traits we're not accustomed to. Perhaps they're quieter, more reserved, or they express themselves differently than we do as a result. Every small gesture, word, or moment of silence might feel unusually significant. The mystery in these interactions can lead us to move between moments of doubt and understanding, grasping for insights that seem to slip away. Just when we think we understand, the angels assure us that these connections are not accidental. They serve as opportunities for growth, inviting us to look beyond what we see on the surface and to trust that there's a deeper purpose taking shape, even if it's not immediately visible. Silence is another powerful aspect of these complex relationships. When someone steps back, we may instinctively worry that we've done something wrong. However, the angels want you to understand that silence doesn't equate to rejection. Often, silence is a natural pause, providing space for both people involved to process what's happening. This time allows us to reconnect with our core selves, to reflect without the noise of constant interaction. Instead of focusing on what might be going wrong, we can use this silence as a time for introspection. It becomes a moment to reflect on what's most important, both within ourselves and within the connection. Though silence can initially bring feelings of doubt, it also offers a valuable lesson in patience. Life unfolds on its own timeline, and not every situation requires an immediate answer. Some of the most profound growth happens in the quiet spaces, in the pauses between words. The angels remind us that each moment of silence has its purpose, often giving us the chance to learn something crucial about ourselves. Embracing this quiet time can help us develop a deeper trust in life's natural rhythms. The connection itself may run deeper than you realize, evidenced by the fact that you think of this person even when they're not around. The bond remains even in silence, and the energy shared between two people doesn't necessarily fade with distance. The angels suggest that this is an opportunity to practice patience, letting the relationship unfold naturally rather than seeking immediate answers. Sometimes resisting the urge to act immediately shows respect for both yourself and the other person's journey, trusting that clarity will come when the time is right. This silence can serve as a form of respect for both parties. It's a way of allowing each person the freedom to reflect and come back to the relationship when they're ready. Silence is not a gap to be filled. It's an invitation to focus on our own inner life, to recharge, and to approach the connection with renewed energy. It's as if the universe provides us a moment to breathe, to pause and gather our strength before engaging again. The angels want to remind you that even when there's silence, the connection is still alive. The other person may be reflecting on the bond just as you are in time. As you both continue on your separate journeys, answers will begin to emerge naturally. Silence is not the end, but rather a transitional phase that allows both of you to be better prepared to understand the true meaning of the relationship. When communication resumes, these connections often transcend typical understanding, operating on both a physical and spiritual level. When we meet someone whose energy resonates deeply with our own, it can shift our view of ourselves and the world. This person's presence can be powerful, even without regular interaction. Action influencing us in ways that invite us to grow and explore parts of ourselves that might otherwise have remained hidden. The angels explain that these connections are part of a larger spiritual plan, helping us awaken to deeper aspects of our soul. Even when physically apart, this person's energy remains within you, guiding you subtly toward greater self-awareness. These encounters are rarely random. They often have a purpose that aligns with our personal and spiritual development. It's as if both souls agreed to meet in this lifetime to fulfill a purpose beyond the usual realms of friendship or companionship. The impact of such a connection is profound, acting as a gentle reminder to explore and awaken parts of ourselves that may have been waiting for the right moment to be uncovered. Some people encounter a profound, deeply resonant connection with another person that transcends ordinary interactions. This type of bond, often referred to as a soul connection, can be intense and challenging, stirring unfamiliar emotions and reactions. Many find it hard to fully understand or articulate their feelings, leading to behaviors that seem unpredictable or even contradictory. One day, they may feel intensely close to the other person, only to pull away. The next, this oscillation between closeness and distance is often a way of coping with the overwhelming nature of the connection. Those involved or affected by such a connection can feel disoriented or even frustrated, as it can be challenging to interpret these seemingly mixed signals. Still, it's crucial to recognize that these kinds of connections often serve as catalysts for profound internal changes, surfacing layers of the soul that may have remained hidden or untouched until now. This connection often leaves an imprint that extends beyond the present moment, revealing itself in subtle but impactful signs over time. For instance, recurring dreams. Numbers or symbols might appear frequently in daily life, carrying messages about the significance of the bond. These occurrences can feel like coincidences, but often hint at a larger unseen purpose behind the connection. Such signs can include noticing a specific sequence of numbers, repeatedly encountering a symbol that holds personal significance, or even having thoughts of the other person, only to find out they were thinking of you at the same time. From a spiritual perspective, these signs are seen as affirmations from the universe suggesting that there is a meaningful reason behind the connection that we might not be able to see right away. A soul connection often acts as a spiritual mirror, reflecting back parts of ourselves that may need acknowledgement or growth. This mirroring effect can bring up hidden insecurities, fears, or unresolved emotions, which can be uncomfortable to face. However, these feelings are not triggered out of harm, but rather as opportunities for healing and self. Understanding challenges that arise from these reflections are often signs of growth, signaling areas where we can better understand and align with our true selves. The presence of the other person in our lives might serve as a stimulus for self-reflection, encouraging us to explore parts of ourselves that we hadn't noticed before. In turn, the presence of each person also influences the other, often leading to changes that neither might immediately recognize. Just as one person is affected by the other, the opposite is true as well. Each individual's unique energy and qualities can challenge and inspire the other in meaningful ways. This influence can be both conscious and subconscious, creating a ripple effect that sparks growth and introspection on both sides. However, because such connections can be intense, they may sometimes lead one person to react unpredictably. For some, the strength of the connection may push them out of their comfort zones, forcing them to confront thoughts and feelings they might not yet be ready to explore. This need for space may manifest as temporary withdrawal as the person grapples with the depth of their emotions. When a connection resonates at this level, it can create a unique energy that affects not just the individuals involved, but also the people and situations around them. The impact of such a relationship often extends beyond the two people, creating a kind of spiritual ripple that influences their surroundings. This ripple effect may inspire growth in others, promote understanding, or foster a sense of harmony within the environment. This influence may be subtle, but it's an important aspect of the connection's purpose and potential. However, the spiritual impact of such a bond cannot be rushed or controlled. It unfolds in alignment with a divine plan that has its own rhythm and timing. Attempts to hasten or manipulate this process can create internal resistance, disrupting the natural flow of growth and insight. Instead, trusting the process allows it to progress as it should, even if its full meaning is not immediately apparent. The journey through this connection is rarely straightforward. It includes moments of doubt and confusion, just as it includes moments of clarity and peace. Maintaining an open heart and moving forward, even when the path feels unclear, enables the true purpose of the connection to reveal itself. In due time, for many, these connections evolve beyond emotional experiences and become shared spiritual journeys. As each person grows, the connection brings out qualities or insights that each individual may not have encountered otherwise. Over time, obstacles faced in the connection serve as transformative opportunities rather than setbacks. For instance, previous relationships, past emotional wounds, or lingering attachments may surface, creating temporary barriers. Each challenge, however, provides a chance to process and release old pain, making room for healing and new experiences. This can be particularly valuable as unresolved emotions from the past often serve as impediments to fully investing in the present relationship. One common challenge in these connections is the fear of losing control. Deep, meaningful connections often bring people face to face with the unknown, which can feel unsettling. Many of us instinctively seek control over situations to feel secure. But connections like these operate on a level that transcends logic and control, surrendering to this journey rather than resisting. It facilitates the natural growth and progression of the bond, trusting the process rather than holding on to rigid expectations. Allows the connection to fulfill its potential. Resistance in this context is not necessarily negative. Much like a river encountering rocks, water doesn't stop, it flows around obstacles, finding a path to the sea. Each challenge we encounter in the connection is an opportunity to strengthen our resilience and cultivate emotional clarity. Patience and compassion, both for ourselves and the other person, are essential to allow the connection to blossom in its own time. Every challenge and obstacle becomes a step forward in developing a deeper understanding and appreciation for each other. This transformation helps shift the relationship from a purely emotional experience to a shared spiritual journey, where both people are actively growing together as the connection deepens. Each interaction reveals a new layer of understanding, creating opportunities for both individuals to see and accept each other in a fuller, more authentic way. What once seemed confusing or contradictory may gradually make sense as the connection's purpose reveals itself as part of a larger plan intended to aid each person's spiritual growth and self-discovery. As time progresses, clarity often emerges, and each step along the way feels purposeful. This type of connection can also trigger what is often called a spiritual awakening. Each person acts as a mirror for the other, bringing to light hidden aspects of themselves that may have been suppressed or neglected. The awakening often starts subtly, prompting questions about life, love, and personal purpose. The presence of the other person might challenge held beliefs or encourage a re-evaluation of core values, prompting an internal shift over time. These initial stirrings may lead to more profound realizations as each individual becomes more aware of what this connection means on a spiritual level. Not everyone is prepared for such intense transformation, and some may resist the changes that this connection brings. This explains why one person might pull away, say, or react unexpectedly. They are not just interacting with you, but also with deeper parts of themselves that have been activated. The challenges faced by the other person, although confusing, are often part of their growth process. They may need to work through insecurities, fears, or past traumas before they can fully embrace the connection. Spiritual awakening in a connection is often accompanied by periods of internal confrontation, where each person is prompted to explore and release old fears, insecurities, or behavioral patterns that no longer serve them. This process is rarely easy, but often brings newfound strengths and insights, helping each person advance in their journey. It's important to practice self-compassion during this phase, recognizing that growth is not a linear process. Each step, even those that feel like setbacks, is integral to the journey. Throughout this experience, it can be tempting to seek external validation or answers. Friends, books, or online advice may offer insights, but the angels or spiritual guides remind us that the most important answers will come from within. This is a time to trust one's intuition, reconnecting with the heart's inner wisdom. Each challenge and emotion faced is an invitation to listen to the soul's guidance as the spiritual awakening unfolds. Both individuals may begin to notice changes not only within themselves, but also in the dynamics of the connection. Behaviors that once seemed contradictory may start to align with a larger understanding of the connection's purpose from a spiritual viewpoint. Each interaction, whether it brings closeness or distance, serves a purpose. The relationship's full meaning often becomes clear only after both individuals have embraced their growth. These connections bring clarity, peace, and alignment with one's true self. This type of bond serves not only the individuals involved, but also creates a spiritual ripple effect that can inspire growth in others. The angels remind us that each step, however challenging, brings the two individuals closer to a more profound understanding and appreciation of themselves and each other, transforming what once seemed like barriers into bridges toward deeper love and understanding. The angels reassure us that once we embark on the journey of spiritual awakening, there's no going back. Every step we take brings us closer to a higher, more enlightened version of ourselves, deepening not only our self-awareness, but also our connection with others and the world around us. This process of awakening is a gift, one that often comes wrapped in challenges or difficulties that push us beyond our comfort zones. These challenges are valuable, for they allow us to view life with fresh perspective and help us recognize and treasure each moment, especially the difficult ones that hold hidden lessons. Though this path may be tough, it's rich with blessings and growth opportunities to benefit fully. It's essential to keep moving forward with an open heart, and to trust that each experience, whether uplifting or demanding, is a necessary part of a larger unfolding plan in the spiritual realm. Connections can feel harmonious and aligned, as if things effortlessly flow in a way that makes sense on a soul level. However, when these connections are translated into our physical reality, they may seem uncertain, awkward, or even challenging. The angels teach us that this contrast between spiritual and physical experiences isn't an error, but a critical part of our growth process. Often our spiritual experiences serve as preparations for something larger that will eventually manifest in our tangible everyday lives. For example, we may feel a profound spiritual bond with someone, even if they're physically distant. This connection might show up as vivid dreams, recurring thoughts, or inexplicable feelings that seem to link us to them. At random times, the angels assure us that these experiences are not coincidences. Rather, they're signs that the connection is active and developing on another plane with both souls, aligning on a deeper level, setting the stage for a future time when the connection can be realized in physical form. God bless you. Type Amen if you believe.